Sure.
Okay, well, that's what Trump's going to use now, by the way.
Okay.
All right.
All your predictions are wrong.
That's not true.
It is. I'll take it from here. My staff did the research that her staff did, and we did it in less than 25 minutes. And Romney, Bush, the NRCC, WinRed, no one took Epstein money. It checks out. She's dumb. She knows her staff is dumb. That's why she gave herself an out. So she lied. And only in politics can you lie and get away with it. Actually,
the moment Jessica Tarlov tries to pivot the conversation, Jesse Waters steps in. And you can feel the entire studio shift. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't need theatrics. He simply lays out the facts that her own argument couldn't withstand. And suddenly every single talking point falls apart in real time. And let me say this. If you're tired of commentary built on emotion instead of evidence, you're in the right place. This is World Insight Hub, where we break down the noise and highlight the moments that actually reveal the truth. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. It genuinely helps more people see breakdowns like this. Now let's get into what Jesse exposes next, because this is where the entire narrative unravels.
Some sort of punishment of some form. I don't know, in their ethics rules or whatever. She slandered this guy, and she said, "Oh, I just didn't have time to check it out. Sorry, no time to fact check."
So I live in abject fear, Jesse in less abject fear than I do, of defamation constantly, right? You go out here, you have this huge bully pulpit, right? This opportunity to talk to millions of people, and you better get your language right, especially when you were talking about a pedophile. That's why it has to be an alleged pedophile if someone hasn't been convicted of something. And if you're then talking about someone who may have been in cahoots with a sex trafficker and pedophile, you should also probably get that right. So I don't know about the rules on the floor about this. And, there's been back and forth even this week within the Democratic Party about, sanctioning or whatever the process would be for the retiring Democrat who gave his chief of staff his seat. Anyway, I expected it was a mistake because clearly we're talking about that Jeffrey Epstein when you're making the case. If you're talking about the NRCC and Rick Lazio, you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. So I don't think that was well handled. This narrative, though, that the Dems are on defense and this is going to just turn into a problem for us, it just doesn't work. I thought Chris Murphy handled it really well this morning. He was on with John Berman, and John asked him, what happens if you see more links between Jeffrey Epstein and the Democratic Party? And he goes, so what? Let the chips fall where they may. That is the point of this list coming out, that it's about giving closure to the survivors and the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and this cabal, and that there are some people who don't deserve to be in public life anymore. And you see what's going on with Larry Summers, and that, that's fast moving. And it's going to be a lot more people who are Washington folks and also Wall Street folks.
But Jesse, as Jessica's talking, I just keep thinking about the fact that if Democrats felt so strongly about this, they've had 4 years. They didn't pursue any of this.
It was because of the open investigation.
Sure.
Okay, well, that's what Trump's going to use now, by the way.
Okay.
All right.
All your predictions are wrong.
That's not true.
It is. I'll take it from here. My staff did the research that her staff did, and we did it in less than 25 minutes. And Romney, Bush, the NRCC, WinRed, no one took Epstein money. It checks out. She's dumb. She knows her staff is dumb. That's why she gave herself an out. So she lied. And only in politics can you lie and get away with it. Actually, the better liar you are, the farther you go. Look at Schiff. He lied about Trump, and now he got a promotion to a senator. Look at Newsom, Clinton, all these. Blumenthal said he served in Vietnam. He never even been in the country, and he's still in the Senate. So they had what they thought Trump dead to rights, and now everyone's collateral damage. Stacey from the not-so-Virgin Islands. You have Hakeem soliciting cash and dinner invitations. You have Crockett now and Summers. And there's going to be more. And here's why, Jessica. Now they're putting out flight manifests in 30 days. They're putting out all of the FBI and DOJ investigative documentation. Now, Donald Trump cut him loose in 2004. All of this documentation that's going to come out is going to be from 2008, when the first charges were filed, to 2019 when the second charges were filed. Everything in between that decade, all he's doing, Jessica, is hanging out with Democrats. That's all he's doing. He's not donating to Republicans. He's not hanging out with Republicans. So it doesn't even matter if you guys did or did not get massages, did or did not hang out with sex trafficked minors. Doesn't even matter. The mere allegation that's going to come out in these documents is going to ruin people's lives. And I'm sorry, you pushed this. Trump was trying to be a gentleman, and he was going to say a lot of people's lives are going to be ruined. A lot of people will have their reputations destroyed from innuendo. And I'm sorry, but that's the way it's going to happen. Now, you're right about J.P. Morgan. This is out, and it's huge. So J.P. Morgan filed 5,000 suspicious activity reports on Epstein. $1 billion in suspicious financial wires from Jeffrey Epstein. That either one or two things is true. He is either at the center of an international sexual blackmail ring, or he's a money launderer. And J.P. Morgan covered it up. And the Treasury Department's covered it up because they get those reports. That's what this has always been.
What comes next is the moment the entire panel runs out of safe talking points. Jesse Waters stops letting hypotheticals fill the conversation and cuts straight to the part nobody on the left wants to acknowledge. The facts in the Epstein files point overwhelmingly toward Democrat donors, Democrat operatives, and Democrat insiders. And he exposes it with the kind of precision that forces the table into silence. Because once he lays out the pattern, Larry Summers asking Epstein for advice, Hakeem Jeffries soliciting support, Plaskett receiving off-book information during a hearing, you realize this isn't a partisan talking point. It's a documented chain of behavior the media hoped would never see daylight. And the more Jessica Tarlov tries to downplay it, the more obvious the defensive scrambling becomes. That's the part that hits hardest. This was supposed to be an attack on Donald Trump. Instead, it revealed how deeply connected Epstein was to the very people insisting they were fighting for transparency. Meanwhile, Trump cut ties decades ago, banned Epstein from his property, cooperated with investigators, and walked away clean. That contrast is why the narrative is collapsing. And that's what we do here at World Insight Hub. We cut through the noise and look at what actually holds up under scrutiny. These moments matter because they show how quickly political theater crumbles when real facts enter the room. But what do you think? Did Democrats overplay their hand by pushing these files into the spotlight? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective helps shape the conversation here. If you found this breakdown valuable, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to World Insight Hub. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.